I'm going to do an intro here in one sec, Jordan, but you can pop on whenever you're ready. I'll start chatting with him. Perfect. Awesome. Hey, Dental Nachos crew, it's Paul, Dr. Nacho Goodman, talking to one of my favorite dentists and humans, Dr. Jordan Brown. We're going to talk about what he does here in a second. But the purpose of the presentation tonight is to help dentists do better with Instagram. Can Instagram help you find a better job? Yes. Can it help you find better patients? Yes. Can Instagram help you have more fun? Yes. And one of the most amazing parts about it, your favorite price dentist, totally free to use. So Dr. Jordan's going to share with us Instagram for dentist strategies for success. I saw part of this presentation in Boston. It is fantastic. So welcome to Dentist Job Connect TV. Dr. Jordan, share a little bit about your story with us. Tell us where you're sitting right now, how you got here, how many years you've been a dentist. You give us regular years. Dental years feel like dog years. So
Yeah.
1 year might feel like 12, but share with our audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So thank you, Paul, for the warm introduction. I graduated in 2020 from the University of Michigan School of Dentistry, and now I'm a practicing dentist in Florida.
Awesome. And you have seen post dental school. It can be a wild and wacky world out there in the real world of dentistry. And
most definitely.
And I'll share, we got dental students watching in. We're gonna watch it on recording. So I always like to deliver value up front. I always say, always deliver value up front. Would you share with dental students or residents when they're about to get a job, is it a good idea to hire a dental focused attorney to review your contract?
Without getting too much into detail, I burned my own nachos by not having a dental specific attorney review my contract. So coming from me, do not make the same mistake. Have them review it up front.
And I want to share, I'm an equal opportunity kind of lawyer, and I've been putting this on my groups, and they go, these new dentists don't have any money. I go, weird. I'm on Instagram and I see they're in Cancun, right? So somehow they found the money for Cancun. So you got to find the money for both. And that is my kind annoyance, because in a scary and sad way, I'm dealing with a dentist right now who's probably going to cost himself over $50,000 by not having a dental focused attorney review their contract. So I'm glad you shared that. Now, Jordan, I'm going to turn the presentation over to you in a second, but what inspired you to make this presentation, or what inspired you to kind of share this with the dental audience here?
Absolutely. The whole Instagram journey for me started off when I was a pre-dental student, because I wanted to learn about the schools I was applying to. And so I promised myself, hey, once I got into dental school, I wanted to share my experience about being a dental student. So other people that were interested in the same school that I was at, it would be kind of like an inside person to that. And so that's kind of what got the whole thing started.
I love that. And even me, a medium age person, 44 years old, I had a new patient come to me just recently for implants. He said, I follow you guys on Instagram, watch your videos. People start to develop a relationship with you before they meet you in person. I sometimes say at these conferences, when I meet these dental students, the young dentists, do I seem like the guy from Facebook or Instagram? To say, yeah, you seem like you're just out of your videos. So it's a really awesome opportunity. Whether you don't have an account, whether you have 5 followers, it doesn't matter. You have an awesome opportunity to share your story. So thanks, Jordan. Before I turn it over to you, I just want to make you feel more comfortable. So I'm just going to hold this for the whole show. You can't see, but Jordan has massive biceps. So I'm back here doing bicep curls here, Jordan. Yeah, so it's tough to compete with that. So I'm going to turn the presentation over to you. If anybody has a question in the chat, I might jump in, but we're just going to turn it to you, and I'm looking forward to learning.
Sure. Awesome. Okay, like Paul said, I want to give you all as much value on this presentation as I can. So at any point, if you have any questions, just type it in the chat and Paul will make sure that I see that. Okay, Instagram for dentists, what you need to know. Okay, we're going to backtrack a little bit. Like Paul already asked me already, this is me as a pre-dental student. I was president of our pre-dental society. I was trying to figure out which schools I wanted to apply to. I had no idea about differences between schools, kind of like most people. This is back in the day where there weren't a lot of dental students, bloggers talking about their experience. And so it was very hard for me to figure out, which schools I should apply to. I wanted to talk with students at the school, but, I had a hard time finding them. And so for me, once I was in dental school at the University of Michigan, I started blogging about my journey so that way I could connect with prospective students who wanted to have information on the school. And that's kind of how the whole thing started. So that's just me in dental school. That was me practicing for the CDCA boards exam. Had a little funny picture there. And that kind of sums up my whole dental school experience. And again, that was just me at the University of Michigan, going through the program. And from working with Instagram, just blogging about my journey there, I started to get reached out to by brands. One of them, my current sponsors and partners, Oral-B and Crest. They have been tremendous, but they really showed me that what I was doing on the internet had value, right? Just because I was posting, connecting with people, that was well and good, and I enjoyed that. But there's also just real world value in blogging and on the internet. Okay, so a little bit more about me. Okay, my social presence, that's me, Dr. Brown Dentist. My username is just at Dr. Jordan Brown. I like to keep usernames simple. So just, you ever met someone and they tell you their Instagram, it's like Dr._Jordan._Brown with 4 exclamation points at the end. You want to make it just simple. So if you ever meet someone in real life, you can just say, hey, this is my username, no period, no dashes, no underscores, nothing like that. But my social presence is being on the internet. I've had millions of views, thousands of followers. But the most important out of all of that, most important out of all those kind of numerical metrics is real world connections. I met, Paul Goodman. I connected with him. He connected me with my dental focused attorney, Rob Montgomery, to review my contracts and help me get out of that contract and evaluate new opportunities. So the real world connections is the most important piece, because we can sometimes lose sight of that. It's you're posting things on the internet, but other people are actually seeing that, and just enabling you to make real world connections is a huge part. Good. So I just like to show this screenshot. I took this screenshot from my Instagram account today. Okay. In the last 30 days alone, okay, I've reached 220,000 accounts, right? It says 4% from ads, 4% of ads. That's just because I work with Crest and Oral-B, and the posts I make for them, sometimes they boost it out over ads. Me personally, I don't run any paid ads on my own page. And this is just natural, organic reach. And it just shows that, hey, you don't need 1 million followers to make an impact or to reach people. I only have, 30,000, but I've been able to reach 220,000 people. Okay. And I think that's just so cool. And this is a little bit of just, evidence that I know a little bit, about Instagram. So, why Instagram? Okay. One, it's low cost. Okay. You download the app, make an account for free. Broad audience, almost everyone is on Instagram. A lot of people, if you are making it for your practice, your target patient is probably on there, unless you are maybe a pediatric dentist or maybe a strictly geriatric dentist. But even so, even if that is your target audience, you will still be able to connect with people that know those people, right? So if you're connecting with moms who have kids or that have parents that need your work, it's still a way to connect to that audience. And also easy to use. Instagram is very, very easy to use. And it's low cost as compared to other marketing methods, Facebook ads, Google ads, your website. Making a website is much more expensive than running an Instagram page. Don't even get me started on print and flyers. That's just magnitudes more expensive than just running your own Instagram page. Again, you can target a broad audience on Instagram. You can target your ideal person. There's 1 billion people on it. You can show your authentic self. It's less polished than maybe your website. Your website's kind of like your cream of the crop. This is who we are, it's what we can do. Instagram shows a little bit more about your inner self. And again, real world connections, easy to use. Fillings, much harder than social media, believe me, especially at class 2. All right, so we got the basics out of the way on the advantages of Instagram, but how do you Instagram? How do you do the Instagram? Okay, first thing you want to do is pick who you're making an Instagram for. Are you a practice owner and you're looking to attract patients? What's your type of patient? Are you looking to attract women with kids who need a family dentist? Because when you are creating pictures and videos on your page, you want to keep in mind who you are making the content, for. Are you a dentist and you want to market to other graduated dentists that are looking to take CE, right? Is that who you're marketing toward? Or are you a dentist that, wants to maybe market their practice and you don't want to use a broker? I don't know. Whatever it is, you can just pick your audience. And it's not a literal, you're going on Instagram picking who you're sending it to. It's just a frame of reference in your mind that everything you're making is for this category of people. Okay, so biography, let's just jump right into it. I want to make this as valuable for you all as possible. So how do you optimize your landing page of your Instagram? This is what people see when they click on your name, and you have just a few seconds for them to decide, hey, do I want to follow this person, join in on their community, or do they look kind of spammy, do they look kind of weird, maybe they don't want to follow you. Okay, first things first, just have a simple username. Now, some people are famous or popular if they have characters and underscores, but for the most part, you want to just make a name that's simple. Dr. Jordan Brown, Dr. Paul Goodman, just make it simple. You want to have a clear picture of your face. Me, it's illuminated face, big smile. We're dentists, you have to smile. Try to avoid full body shots where they can't really see your face. Where if you look at my name here where it says Dr. Brown and it says dentist, that part is actually, that bold part there, that's actually searchable on Instagram. So if you are a dentist in, let's say, the Miami area, and you want to find patients that want porcelain veneers, in your bolden part here, you should say, Miami veneers or Miami cosmetic dentist, because that part's actually searchable. But at bare bones, your biography should say who you are and what you do. Bare bones basic. If you can even add in there the value that you can provide on what else you can do, that's even better. But bare bones, who you are. And
Jordan, I just one question, because I remember from following you now, and you did. If you're a dental student, would you note that and then change it to the doctor when you graduate? What advice would you give to the D1 or D2 as to how they would choose a name?
Yeah, fantastic question. It's always great to have just the simplest version of your name. So if you have a longer first name or last name, you can do doctor, first name, last name. Now, some older dentists may say, okay, don't put doctor in your name till you're a doctor. So, you can just create a page that holds that username until you graduate. And then after you graduate, just change it over. Yeah. So it's almost like squatting on a username, so to speak. But before then, you can put, student doctor, your name, or you can just put first name, last name.
I've seen a lot of when I'm trying to get students to do it, I see a lot of SDR dot, that.
Yeah. That works too.
Thanks for answering.
You're welcome. Great question. Example here, maybe if you're a practice owner, Dr. Smith, again, that bolden part is searchable. So maybe they're in Tampa Bay, cosmetic dentist. That's who you are. What do you do? Veneers, implants, Invisalign. Again, this is the stuff you want to be marketing because you want to attract people that need these things, right? So we know that they're probably a general dentist and they can do fillings and maybe a partial, but if that's not really the person you want to attract, don't put that in your bio, right? And then helping you smile, book an appointment. You want to give them a call to action. So a call to action is what next steps do you want the person to take? So in this case, book an appointment, go to their website. Second example, let's say you are a dental marketer, right? You'll say Jody Smith, expert dental marketer, learn to market your dental practice. That's what you do with Instagram, schedule a chat. Okay, how to create content, okay? First, let's just rewind a little bit. What is content? Content is photos, videos, story posts. A story post is something that will, you post it and it kind of disappears after 24 hours. It's very non-committal. It's more, you use that feature more if it's like a day in the life type of thing. Whereas if you post things to your feed is kind of like your homepage where things stay until you actually delete it. But photos, videos, anything like that. What do you post, right? People ask you that, what do you post? It can be a clinical photo. Maybe it's a smile transformation. Maybe it's a class 2 filling you did. It can be an illustration. If you're trying to market your CE course, maybe you want to show how to do a figure 8 suture, right? So you do a little diagram on that. For videos, you can do before and after cases. A big thing I see a lot on Instagram is when you take videos of before and after cases, just format it on Instagram so it's right side up when you post it. I see it a lot where people will post a smile transformation video and it's like sideways on, they post it sideways. So the person has to turn their phone. Just make it simple on people and just change it to portrait. And that's fairly easy to do in your stock photo or video app. Reels, that's really big on Instagram right now. It's basically Instagram's response to TikToks. And it's just a short form video. Reaction videos, those do most of the time very well on the platform. A reaction video is an example of our friend Justin Bieber over here. A few months ago, he had this thing called Ramsay Hunt syndrome, but half of his face went paralyzed. And so similar to in dentistry, we have, Bell's palsy, you're anesthetizing, maybe it goes too far back, anesthetize the facial nerve, and half the face is kind of numb. This is something you could have related back to this. And, people find that interesting. Justin Bieber is a lot more interesting than us just maybe talking about dentistry. So by combining the two, it does really well on the internet. And then skits and dances, I'm not a huge dancer. I'm the first to admit I really can't dance. But, if you have moves and you're not too shy about showing them off, then they do pretty good too. Practice owners, and really for anyone who's on Instagram, I recommend a balance between clinical and non-clinical. Me, I'm still an associate, and the practices I've worked at, they have pretty strict social media policies. So I have the challenge of really not doing anything clinical on my page. Now, most people don't have this dilemma. They can show all their cases. They can do whatever they want. Me, I have a hard time where I have to do everything that's basically non-clinical. But if you are a practice, if you're an associate and your practice doesn't mind you showing off some of your before and after cases, then it's good to do a combination of the two. And, what is non-clinical? That can be you just speaking to the camera, talking about what to do after you get porcelain veneers, or what to do after an extraction. And don't forget, social media is social. So you don't want to just post on your own page and not interact with any other dentists on Instagram. And I know people may feel a little weird about just commenting on someone's Instagram page that they don't even know, but that's part of the experience of being on social media. You should find dentists that are doing well on the internet, on Instagram. And if they post a video, just comment on it. Be like, leave a 1 or 2 sentence comment, just your genuine thoughts on things. Try not to leave negative stuff, obviously, but try to just like, whoa, the smile transformation is awesome. You did a really good job on that. What type of temporary material do you use? Something to maybe spark a conversation, because you want to be social. And a lot of the times from the research I've done on pages that do post clinical dentistry, especially if they're practice owners, is that the non-clinical posts that they post a lot of times do better from an engagement perspective than their clinical posts. And what do I mean by that? Engagement means, likes on a post, comments on a post, views on a post. And a lot of times the non-clinical stuff does better than the clinical stuff. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean just post non-clinical stuff, especially if your target is to attract people to your practice, but having a balance of posting non-clinical stuff that will then give you momentum that allows people to see your clinical stuff just basically helps you out. And then again, show your humanity, show your work. Yeah, original content ideas. People struggle with this. What do I post? You can use patient questions and experiences. You can use this website called answerthepublic.com. This is really cool. What that website does is it gives frequently asked questions in almost any industry, and it uses data from Google that people are searching. So for example, I use veneers as an example here because, those are pretty visual and a lot of cosmetic dentists do veneers, right? So on this website, Answer the Public, you just type in veneers and it shows you what people are asking about them. So if can veneers be whitened? Can veneers get cavities? Can veneers be removed? Can veneers fall off? Can they fix crooked teeth? These are what your target audience is asking Google. And you can make a video, a post for each one of these. You can put, also on the website, it'll tell you, people are asking Google, are veneers worth it? Are they covered by insurance? Are they permanent? Are they bad? Are they expensive? Are they fake? How do they work? How are veneers done? So this one topic can give you, 30 different videos, and 30 videos can be, 4 or 5 months worth of content you can post. Switching gears here a little bit. So once you have the idea that you want to post, There's different formats. You can post a photo, a video, or reel. Again, a reel is a reel is Instagram's response to the ever-growing popularity of TikTok. And all it is a short video. A reel is just a short video. That's it. And really successful reels have a hook. If you're talking, they have closed captions. Unlike YouTube or TikTok, a lot of people, or most people that are on Instagram, they listen to it on mute. So if you have closed captions, that's going to be really big. And at the end of the video or in the caption, have a call to action. That just means ask them to either like it, share it, save the video for reference later, something that will just ask them to, almost like asking a patient, would you mind writing a review for us? This is an example of a video I made a few weeks ago. Okay, I don't know if sound's gonna come through. I don't want to blast the speaker, so let me just turn it down. So this is a video I made. Things I will never do because I'm a dentist. Okay, I don't know if the sound's coming through, but it's okay. It says, I will never crunch on ice. Nope, that's silly. I'll never bite my fingernails. Nope. Use my teeth to open anything. And teeth are not tools. That's it. Very simple. All I was doing is this. I put a little bit of funny music behind. You guys probably can't hear it, but that was it. Okay. And that simple.
I have a question. I had a technique question. It's very self-interested. How did you get the 3 different environments for that video together? So you said it's a short video, but you clearly had 3 different places you were sitting. So is that something you did on that Splice app, or did you on Instagram to put those together?
Great question. So I'm going to go back here. So Paul is asking basically, are these multiple shots? Is how the logistics of how do you do this? So first thing I do is I sat down here on my spare bedroom on a couch. I set up a tripod and I record all of my videos, not within Instagram, but in my normal camera app. So I have an iPhone. So I like to record with my back camera because the back camera has better quality than the front facing camera. And so I set it up. And the first thing I do is I'm doing this motion first here. Okay. Go back. This first clip here is probably, 5-6 seconds long. This, I'm trying to pause it. Here we go. Okay. And then this, as it zooms into my face, that's the same clip, but I just edit it so that it zooms in. And I used to use an app called Splice, which Paul mentioned, but I actually use a different one now. And I added it to the presentation so you guys can all know. But that right there, that is the same clip that I zoomed in and out. This is, I finished recording the first clip. Then I moved to the other side of my couch, laid down, and I had my phone set up. I press record, I go lay on the couch, I do this, then I get up, stop recording, and then in the app, you just basically shorten it so that's only the highlight of the clip that you want. And I use an app called CapCut Now. It's easier to use and it has more features, and I'll talk about it a little bit in the presentation as well. But great question, Paul, is I film multiple angles and then I condense it all together, not within the Instagram app because I feel like it lacks a lot of features and it's not that easy to use.
Yeah.
I do it in a separate app. And then once I add all the captions and save them in that app, I export the video, which means I just save it. And then I upload it into Instagram from there.
Cool. Thanks for breaking that down for us. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I've done 8,000 bicep curls during the presentation.
I love it. And then just a simple video of me going like this. I'm not even saying anything. All I do is throw some words on a screen. This video, 35,000 people saw it, 2,000 people liked it, 67 people commented on it, and 380 people just shared this. They either sent it to a friend, they either shared it to their story because they thought they wanted their followers to see it. And then 240 people saved this for either reference later or they liked the music and they wanted to make their own remix to it. And it's so simple, but it does so well. And then I'm gonna turn on my fan here. My room's a little high here. Give me 1 second.
While Jordan jumped and do that, if you do have any Q&A questions, we'll have a little time from the chat. I have a few that I want to ask, but feel free to just put them into the Q&A if you'd like. Doing awesome, Jordan.
Thank you. And then, so we talked a little bit about this, but step by step, how do you do this? I love this new app called CapCut. The app is free. You can do all the editing there. You can you can add text to the screen. It can automatically add captions. You can upload your own music. It's fantastic. But what I do is I film the video. This will include all the angles that I want. The total length of all the clips may be, I don't know, a minute and a half. But after I edit it, it may shorten it all the way down to 30 seconds. Okay, it's kind of like you do a filling. You put all the composite in there, the occlusion's a little high, and then you go back down and kind of, shave it all down. I upload it to CapCut. In CapCut, I trim the clips. I add in the captions. I maybe do a little bit of effects. I save it from that app. I choose maybe a sound either within the CapCut app or on Instagram. Write my caption, upload the Instagram, and I go ahead and publish it from there. It may sound like a lot of steps, but once you kind of get used to it, all this, you can do this in, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so. And here's another example. So for this one, it's raising a little bit of awareness on antibiotics. So for me, I'm just going to play it. Me, did you take your antibiotic at 2 p.m.? Them, no, I took it at 10 a.m. Me, why'd you do that? Surprise the bacteria. Very, and my face here is like, wait, why would you do that? So it's just a simple, a little bit of comedic flow to that. But in the caption, it gives me an opportunity to talk about guidelines for antibiotics, right? So just take them like your prescriber says. Don't save them for later. Do not take an antibiotic prescribed to someone else. And when in doubt, ask questions. A lot of this stuff is common sense to people that work in healthcare. And you don't have to try to solve dentistry's biggest problems on Instagram. You don't have to overcomplicate it and talk about, complicated dentistry topics. You can make it as simple as just take your antibiotics the correct way and make it kind of fun. And the posts do well. Like, look at this one. Almost 300,000 people saw this simple, silly video of me talking about antibiotics. 16,000 people liked it. Over 3,000 people shared this to either their friend or they posted it to their own account because they wanted their people to follow them to see it. And 750 people saved it for later. So it just shows the power of the people you can reach. Like how many people would it take to, or how much money would it take to take the same message and print it out on a piece of paper and pass it out to 300,000 people? I don't even know, but it's amazing. Guidelines for great content. Okay. When you're scrolling on Instagram, the posts that do the best are videos. Those do a little bit better than photos. Instagram started off as a photo sharing app, but they are trying to shift gears a little bit more toward video right now. So videos are usually better than photos. Vertical is better than horizontal because when you're scrolling on your Instagram page, you want whatever video you have posted to try to take up as much of the screen on someone else's Instagram as much as possible. So for example, if you're scrolling on your Instagram, you'll see some posts will take up a larger area of your screen. That just allows that person a little bit more time to look at it and maybe like it or comment or see what's going on. In the little picture here to the right, and the aspect ratio of the 1.9 to 1, you see how small that post is? It's not taking up that much of the screen. And so someone has more of an opportunity to just scroll past that and just say, oh, what is that? But the bigger your post is, the more screen it's taken up. And then time. Instagram, people have short attention spans. YouTube is great if you want to do longer form content over a minute to 20 minutes or more. Instagram and TikTok, people like short videos because they have short attention spans. So try not to make it longer than 60 seconds. And equipment, okay, what do you need to get started? Smartphone. Now you can get as fancy as you want. You can get a DSLR with twin flashes and this and that. That's great if you're taking clinical pictures. you are, communicating with a lab on a shade, or if you want to do before and after photos, that equipment is good for that. But if you just want to get started on just making Instagram content for yourself, for your business, for your practice, all you need is a smartphone. I use an iPhone 12, I think. I don't even know which one this is. They come out with one every year. I think it's the newest one. A ring light, free apps. I use CapCut. That app is amazing. Ever since I started using it, my videos have gotten better since I've started using that app. And Adobe Lightroom, that's if you're posting a photo and you want to edit it and increase the exposure, the contrast. That app is great for that. Both of those are free. Now, I recently started using a service called Storyblocks. What that is, it's a library of royalty-free footage that you can use in your posts. And I'll give you an example of what that is. But for this one, if you want to kind of take it to the next level, it's $65 per month or $360 for the year. And I'll give you an example. So in this video here, this caption on the screen here is how to be a good patient. For this one, I added this in the CapCut app, and you can, make it a little bold like this. You can make the letters green and blue. You don't have to have a computer, and everything I do is on my phone. And then I'll just show you this, this little video here of the guy reacting to what I'm saying. This I got from Storyblocks. Now, I'm sure there are some services out there where you can get footage like that, royalty free, but it may have like a watermark. I just like the Storyblocks. It's a little pricey, but it provides good footage. The captions are added automatically with CapCut, and then like the videos that are popping up as I'm talking, that is also applied by Storyblocks. So like this stuff here that video there, the things that are breaking up me just talking to the camera is provided by Storyblocks. Now, all you do is you download those and you just insert it into the video with the CapCut app, and then you can just download them to your phone. There's a huge library, and what it does is it helps your video not seem so boring. Because if you're just sitting here talking to the camera, that would work pretty well on maybe YouTube, where people are going to that website for longer form content specifically. But if you're on Instagram, if you're just talking to the camera with no captions, no text, no different videos in between, it gets kind of boring and people will click off. And this is just a ring light. This is, bare bones basic. That's what you need to get started. It's a tripod and it's a light, and lighting is very important. So how do you incorporate this? First and foremost, follow industry leaders on Instagram, see what and how they're doing things, and just try to imitate that and put your own mix on it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. A lot of people are doing Instagram, they're doing it well. Just like running a successful dental practice, you don't have to learn how to do everything from scratch. People are doing really well, and you take what they're doing, you kind of make it your own a little bit, but don't try to reinvent the wheel. Identify trends. So what trends are is if there is a song that's popular that people are using, or if there's a theme or a filter, something like that people are using and it's becoming popular, just look at that and add your own dental twist to it. And then action, just post. You have to post. And then again, engage with other people and businesses. You don't want to be in your own silo doing your own thing. You want to be social on social media. Troubleshooting. This is a really big one. You do not want, well, I don't say you should not, but you should be very cautious with outsourcing your social media management to just a company. And the reason that is because a lot of times I'll go on Instagram and I'll find a dentist. That dentist may have a lot of followers, they may have a lot of likes, but what happens is a lot of the times it can be fake profiles and metrics. So if you're paying some company thousands of dollars for them to manage your Instagram, they may just buy some bots, and bots are just fake people to artificially inflate the amount of people that are following you. So on paper, it may look like, oh man, they have 60,000 followers, but that bot or that person, that management company may have purchased 40,000 of them, and they have good hackers and computer people out there that know how to do that. I don't know how to do it, but they do that, and they will, you who may not be as experienced may say, oh, look, they're doing great, but in reality they just bought your followers and they're buying likes. If you're going through someone's page and they have the same amount of likes on every single post, like 1,000 on every single post, well, okay, that's definitely artificial, because no one is going to get the same amount of likes on every single post. It's natural and it's okay to have posts that do better and posts that do worse. Sometimes I may have a post that only gets 100 likes, while others times I may get posts that have like 3,000 likes. A natural up and down is normal, but you don't want to just have be a little cautious with having a company manage everything, and that just ruins your authenticity. Because if you do have a patient that comes and sees your profile, they may see this and be like, oh, this dentist just bought all their followers and bought their likes, and it just doesn't look very authentic, and just look kind of bad. And again, consistency. You don't have to post every single day. I usually try to post during the week, at least 2 posts a week, and I usually skip the weekend. And me, I'm the first person to admit I was very camera shy when I first started, but I had a message that I wanted to share, and I had a vision, and I knew that if I wanted to get that message and that vision out there, then I was going to have to just get over being camera shy. And then batching content, it sounds like a lot of work, but the way I do it is I try to film and take as many photos as I can on like a weekend or when I'm not working clinically, and I'll film everything that weekend. I'll try to edit as much of it as I can, and then during the week, it's just log in and post, log in and post, log in and post. I'm not trying to film stuff and edit stuff during the middle of the week, because we're all busy. And if you get pretty good at this, you can do maybe 2 weeks worth of content in a weekend, and it just saves you a lot of time. We're going to wrap this up by just addressing Instagram myths. Okay, number one, you need a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of followers in the grand scheme of things. I have 33,000, but in the slide in the beginning, it showed that my videos have reached over 200,000 people in the last 30 days. So you don't need to be a famous dentist to get results. You don't need 1 million followers to get a patient in the door. You really don't. Especially if you're recruiting patients, you want to be locally famous. So if you're in a community, you just want to be well known in that area. You don't need a ton of followers. You should only post. Myth number 2: you should only post at certain times. This should be posted at certain times of the day. For example, at 12 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, at 8 o'clock. Listen, I try to encourage people, don't overcomplicate this when you start. The most important thing is just start something. Now, if you wanted some advice on when to post, I would try to post between, anywhere, post anytime besides nighttime. The only reason I say try to avoid nighttime is because after you post, let's say it's at 8 o'clock, well, most people are getting ready for bed and they're going to be asleep maybe by 10 or 11. And then there's a lot of what I call like dead space or inactive space after you post, where people are sleeping from 12 to at least 6 or 7 a.m. And so your post really isn't getting spread around that much after you post, because people are sleeping. Now, if you post at 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., then people have all day to go on their phone and they can check what you've posted, and maybe they have more of an opportunity to share and to like it. And so I try to encourage people, try to post morning, or afternoon, early afternoon, but try to avoid nighttime. But again, posting something is better than posting nothing, and don't get caught up on trying to time everything. Hashtags are super important. Now, historically speaking, hashtags were the bread and butter of Instagram. That's how everyone saw your post. That's how you got popular, is using hashtags. Nowadays, I've seen that they are less influential than just people sharing your posts. Now, back in the day, the conventional wisdom was to post 30 hashtags on your post, everything from dentistry to dentist to dentista and orthodontist, and get as many hashtags as you can. Nowadays, they're not as important. So again, don't lose sleep over trying to maximize your hashtags. But if you're a smaller account, try to pick some hashtags that don't have as many posts in them. Reason being is because with hashtags, if you use the hashtag dentistry, there's probably like 500,000 to a few million posts under that hashtag. And if you, a smaller creator account, posts under that hashtag, then no one is really going to see your post because it will get kind of just pushed out into the wave. Now, if you're a popular or bigger account and you post under that hashtag, then since your profile has more likes and comments and shares, it's more likely to be kept at kind of like the top of the wave, so to speak. I can, explain in some more detail if you want, but again, just don't, lose sleep over that. Again, we talked about this, hiring a social media management company is best. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say every company is bad, but I've seen enough fake profiles and metrics that would make me concerned with the validity of some of their services. And last myth, you need to be committed to all social media channels. Now, with Instagram and being a dentist, this stuff takes time. So don't exhaust yourself trying to make an Instagram and a TikTok and a Facebook and a YouTube and a Pinterest and everything else that's out there. I would say try to at least have a Facebook and have an Instagram, and you can focus more of your time on one profile or one social media when you start, and eventually you can use the momentum from that first page to maybe drive some traffic to your other pages. But don't overwhelm yourself with trying to be everywhere at the beginning, because I'm still not everywhere. I'm just starting to kind of venture out on TikTok, but just don't overload yourself when you first start. And I try to make this quick, short, to the point. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to follow me on Instagram, DM me, or send me an email. I'm more than happy to help out anyone with anything social media related. And Paul, thank you again for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. This is just the beginning. This is Rocky OG. We're going to make all the Rockies here for Jordan Razis Kim. That was really just a phenomenal run through that would help anyone. You've helped me a lot on Instagram. My awesome wife, Mary, is marking it a whole session with us. The reason why it's worth it to just get started, I mean, Gary Vee always talks about everyone starts with one follower, right? And it's a totally free opportunity to share your awesomeness, share your story, share your struggles, share your stresses. I mean, there were so many valuable things that you shared here, but we have a great Dental Nachos intern who's doing an awesome job for us, dental student from Penn. And if I was a dental student, that thing that you showed of answer the questions for the public, that would just be a nacho brainer, because it could be really easy to give oral hygiene tips, or, your funny video about not chewing ice. And, you become an expert for people who are looking at this. And it also, when you go to find a job with a practice owner, I'll share, if I was hiring an associate and I couldn't find them on Instagram, they didn't have an Instagram account, I would think that's weird. And somebody who had one would be elevated in my mind, and it might be totally unfair. But what's cool about these social media platforms, as Gary Vee always says, they're totally free. Everyone can use them. You just need a phone, which everyone has to use. You just got to start sharing yourself. So thanks, Jordan. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Truly appreciate, love sponsoring through Dentist Job Connect. You just make the funniest videos for us. We just repurposed one of yours. They got a ton of attention. So, I mean, that is something as we wrap up. I'm so into videos where I make them for my daughters. I make them for my team. I make them for Dental Nachos, because you do it once and you can watch it forever. So, I just did one on the value of overdentures for my team to watch, so that, you can see this. So thanks so much for sharing with us. We're going to have you back for more sessions here. You delivered tremendous value to our audience. People should follow you on Instagram. What is your best, before we wrap up, as a bonus, Jordan, someone wants to do one thing to get in better shape, what do you recommend they do?
Oh, one thing to get in better shape. Man,
like asking a dentist their favorite burr. I know it's a tough one.
This one may be kind of weird, but maybe start weighing out your food, because some things like peanut butter, if you just try to eyeball a scoop of peanut butter, it can easily be anywhere from 200 to like 600 calories. So it's kind of weird, but I still weigh out a lot of my like proteins and fats and stuff. So use a scale and
you're really on point there, because we had got a nutritionist to help us early a year, Mary and I, and that was his first tip. So you should follow him, The Angry Nutritionist. He's a great guy. He's really,
okay.
The Angry Nutritionist. And that was his first he was angry because there's so many myths about nutrition, but that was one of his first things about weighing it out. It really holds yourself accountable. And the American culture tends to have portion sizes that are way too big. So thanks, Jordan.
Exactly.
Awesome.